The paradigm of global finance is shifting massively right before our eyes. We are moving way beyond the simple, clunky transfer of money to a new era of capital that literally thinks and acts for itself. Welcome back. I'm CoinBlaw. Today, we're doing a deep dive into the real mechanics fixing our broken financial system. We'll look at Ripple's liquidity revolution that's unlocking tens of trillions trapped in bank vaults worldwide. We will also break down Axelar's interoperability tech, which is actively weaving fragmented blockchains into one massive neural network. Finally, we'll project forward to the 2026 scenarios where massive institutional money finally floods the space. Let's start with the current global financial system, specifically cross-border payments. To be brutally honest, it's a highly inefficient, outdated mess. Traditional banks rely heavily on a system called Nostro accounts to facilitate foreign exchange. This means banks have to park massive amounts of their own capital in partner banks across the globe just to ensure transactions clear. Imagine stuffing thousands of vaults in different cities with emergency cash you might never use. Right now, the total amount of idle capital, literally sleeping money, trapped in these global vaults for international wire transfers is a staggering $27 trillion. That is a massive drag on the global economy. The Bank for International Settlements, or BIS, has tried to address this through Project Agora. They want to unify central bank money and commercial bank deposits onto a single universal ledger system. But let's be realistic. Due to conflicting geopolitical interests, fierce regulatory walls, and national security concerns, getting the whole world to agree on one single blockchain is practically impossible right now. This is exactly where Ripple, and specifically XRP, steps in as a powerhouse alternative in our heavily fragmented world. Ripple's on-demand liquidity, or ODL, completely eliminates the need for these pre-funded Nostro accounts. Think of the old system like hoarding foreign postage stamps just in case you need to mail a letter abroad. Ripple's solution is like hitting send on an email using high-speed internet. It's instant and frictionless. The moment a transfer request is initiated, fiat currency is converted into XRP, sent across the network in seconds, and immediately converted back into the destination's local currency. It's totally seamless. For massive global financial institutions, this mechanism is becoming critical infrastructure. Instead of locking up $27 trillion in debt accounts, they can free up that capital and deploy it into high-yield, productive investments. Now, if Ripple is the ultra-high-speed fiber optic cable moving value between different ledgers, the next massive leap is sending complex commands alongside that value. This is the absolute core of interoperability or cross-chain technology. Let's look at the top 3 architectures dominating the cross-chain market right now. First up is Layer 0. This protocol uses 2 totally independent channels, an oracle and a relayer, to cross-verify every single message. It essentially sets up a direct point-to-point phone line between the sender and receiver with no middleman. Because of this streamlined design, the architecture is incredibly lightweight and the transaction speeds are blazing fast. Second, we have Wormhole. This system operates using a powerful validator group known as the 19 Guardian nodes. Think of them like 19 Supreme Court justices sitting on a bench. A supermajority of these validators must reach a consensus and sign off, what they call a VAA, before any native tokens or data can actually cross over to another blockchain. It's a very strict gatekeeper-style approach. Third is Axelar. Unlike the first two, Axelar is actually its own fully independent blockchain built on a delegated proof-of-stake consensus. It does way more than just moving a token from point A to point B. Axelar uses something called General Message Passing, or GMP, to execute highly complex smart contracts across different networks. You can think of it as a global embassy that handles perfect real-time translation and complex legal reviews. For example, using Axelar, you could trigger a logic command that says, if I deposit Bitcoin on the Bitcoin network, automatically issue me a dollar-pegged stablecoin loan over on the Ethereum network. It's incredibly powerful. However, even highly advanced systems like Axelar had a major bottleneck in the past. Every single time they wanted to connect a brand new blockchain, the Axelar core developers had to manually write new code. They were basically custom building adapters from scratch, much like trying to carve a new plug every time you visit a country with a different electrical outlet. It was totally unscalable for a fast-growing crypto ecosystem. The massive innovation that solved this bottleneck is called the Interchain Amplifier. You can think of this as the universal USB-C port for the entire crypto industry. It changes the game completely. Now, without any direct intervention from the Axelar team, third-party developers can just use a standardized smart contract toolkit. This allows networks like Flow, Sui, and Stacks to plug in completely permissionlessly and automatically. Starting with the rollout of the Mobius development stack in late 2024 and pushing through 2025, we've seen this interoperable ecosystem expand at an absolutely exponential rate. The network effects are compounding rapidly. These specific technical leaps are setting the stage to complete a massive financial scenario in the very near future, specifically looking at the year 2026. This is where the big players finally converge. Take Hedera, for instance. It uses a unique hash graph structure, not a traditional blockchain, which historically made EVM connections super expensive. Then you have the Stellar network, which spent 2024 heavily battle testing its new Soroban smart contracts. By early 2026, we're looking at a future where distinct networks like Hedera and Stellar are fully and seamlessly integrated into the broader crypto economy, specifically utilizing this amplifier architecture. But why are top-tier global financial institutions timing their moves to this exact moment? It goes way beyond just basic tech compatibility. The real answer here is absolute control and regulatory compliance. In the past, using cross-chain tech was like riding public transit. You had to follow a set route with a set security standard. But Wall Street's massive capital doesn't ride the bus, they demand their own private jets. The amplifier architecture gives these institutions exactly what they want. It allows them to inject their own strict anti-money laundering and KYC codes directly into the routing process. This means they can seamlessly build out hybrid environments that bounce between public and private chains. They can literally set up institutional-only VIP security lanes for their massive capital flows. Look at what Franklin Templeton is doing with their U.S. government money fund FOBBX running on Stellar. Or look at JP Morgan's massive wealth management initiative, Project Dama. These aren't just tests anymore. By 2026, these initiatives will evolve into the true interchain finance era. We'll see portfolio managers rebalancing multi-trillion-dollar funds across dozens of different blockchains with a single click, all while staying perfectly compliant. To wrap this up, the future of global finance is the ultimate fusion of deep liquidity and high intelligence. Ripple is tearing down geopolitical walls and that $27 trillion inefficiency so capital can sprint freely. Ripple is essentially building the high-speed highway. Meanwhile, interoperability infrastructure like Axelar provides the automatic driving system. It ensures that the capital speeding down that highway follows all the traffic laws and automatically finds its exact destination. In the financial markets of tomorrow, what blockchain your assets are sitting on won't matter in the slightest. What will dictate true value is how totally legally compliant and highly intelligent those assets are when interacting across the globe. This has been CoinBlaw.